ladies, it's Brenda. Welcome to session 3 of New Consultant Training. This is my favorite training to do because it's about a class and it's about a party and a successful party. So I'm excited to share some tips with you. I'm noticing I have no lipstick on. Sorry about that. But I was just so excited to jump in and do this training. If you have watched session 1 and session 2, would you please make sure that you email me and let me know what you learned as well as any questions that you have. That just helps me to make sure that you are the best trained you can be for this job. So anyway, I wanted to start with the party, and what's cool about the party is you can use the same skills I'm going to teach you for the party at a facial. It's just maybe done a little bit more casually when it's only 1 to 2 people. The party is the same exact thing as a class. I mean, they're exactly the same. The only thing to think about as far as that is if you have a really fun person who loves to party, you call it a party. And if you have a person who's a little more serious and, you know, wants to give you an opinion or feedback, then it's called a class. So really there's nothing different about them. Okay, well, I wanted to start off by sharing with you my materials that I bring, because the last thing that you want to do is ring the doorbell and look like a bag lady. Okay, so if I show you real quickly, pardon my mess over there, but I have 2 bags that I answer the door with, okay? And this is my class bag, what I like to call my class bag. And in it, this is just one of those 31 totes, but whatever you can find that works for you. In this tote, I have an accordion file. And I would definitely recommend an accordion file to everybody because you can put all your paperwork in here, your hostess folders, your profile cards, your tickets, whatever. All your paperwork is all together, and then you don't have to worry about losing it and getting lost in your bag. And then underneath, I mean, it's a mess right now, but I mean, I have my satin handset and my mirrors and you know, my demos, my flip chart, a tablecloth, my brush sets back there. Oh gosh, you can hardly see because I'm not doing very well with my camera. I apologize. Anyway, so this is my party bag, and then this over here. Now, my dog just walked in, so I wonder if he wants to get in the movie. This is my demo bag, okay? So if you hear sniffing, that's the dog. He's going to go in and sniff there. Anyway, that's my demo bag. So that's got all my demo stuff in it and my cotton balls and all that. This is all that I want to show up with at the party because, again, I don't want to look, oh my gosh, like a bag lady. So from there, what I do is the rest of the inventory stays in my car, okay? So, okay, let's rewind to the beginning of the party planning process. You have a hostess who agrees. Your very first step with her is to get your guest list, okay? And some people think, oh, why do I have to get a guest list? Why do I have to give it so far in advance? Whatever. Well, I'm going to tell you from my experience that parties that don't have a guest list have a higher percentage of cancellation. If the hostess has gone through the work of getting you the guest list, she's more apt to hold the party because she knows she gets $35 worth of credit for doing that. So always make sure that you are getting a guest list. The next thing that guest list does for you, it allows you to pre-profile. And you'll see those words on the paperwork that I gave you, and you'll also see them You'll see them all over the place. Let me explain a little bit about pre-profiling to you, okay? Pre-profiling is a way to get to know your people before you even meet them. It also gives you an opportunity to get the relationship started because honestly, there's nothing worse than a salesman in the corner, okay? Think about when you go to a car dealership, and all you want to do is really just like look at the car and, you know, see if the car is in your price range and that kind of thing. And here comes somebody sneaking up along the side, okay? You don't want to be that person. You want to be a friend that they already know, even if it's just that they know your voice on their answering machine. So a pre-profiling message would go something like this. Hi, Susie, this is Brenda Wilbur. I am the consultant who will be at Josie's house on Friday night. I am so excited to meet you. I do have a couple questions before we get together. If you could give me a buzz back, that would be awesome. My number is blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I just have a couple questions about your skin, and I want to make sure that I have everything I need before I see you. So if you can give me a call back, that would be awesome. And then I leave it like that. And then when I do talk to them, or if I do talk to them before I leave a message, what I do is I introduce myself and I ask them the first couple questions from the profile card. The most important questions are, number one, what's your skin type? That way you know if they're oily or if they have any issues or if they're dry, okay? The second is like their age range. So you can kind of know, botanical, miracle, what am I going to do for these people? The third is, do they have any skin issues? Do they have any like breakouts? What is their Mary Kay experience is a fourth, and the fifth would be like, what are you using now? You also want to know skin color. Why? There's nothing worse than showing up. Let's let the dog out, see if this helps. There's nothing worse than showing up at a party and there are African American guests and you have all ivory and beige foundation. So you want to avoid that by looking extremely professional and pre-profiling. It also helps the hostess. And what do I mean by that is I had a party one time where I didn't pre-profile and the girl expected like 10 guests. So she brought tons of food. It was at the studio. And then only like 4 people came and she had all this leftover food. And I thought if I had done my job and pre-profiled, she would have had better attendance because I would have made a contact with them, or she at least would have known if they weren't going to come. So something to think about. It's not just about you and having a more successful party for you, but it's about the hostess and how can you partner with her to make sure she's going to get the most free stuff, because that's really our job. Our job is to make sure that our customers get the most that they can. And our thanks for her introducing us to her friends and family is all those hostess credits. So that is our job, to partner with her and make sure she is the most successful. And pre-profiling helps with that because you're going to have a better party because you're going to know the people before they even walk in the door. Okay. So here you are, you're at the party, you've already pre-profiled, you know everybody, or at least you know of everybody that's going to be there. Sometimes, like if you don't know that person at all, I love the idea of writing out their profile card with their name on it so that when you get to the table, they can see where their place setting is. That way, if you know you have 3 oily people and 2 dry people, you can squirt them accordingly and they already have a name tag, okay? That's why it's important to get to the party about a half hour before everybody else so you can set up. And then when the guests start coming, you have the hostess treat them to satin hands in the kitchen. The reason you're doing that is because you're training the hostess how to do your job, okay? But it also gives you a chance to stripe test everybody and see what foundation color they are. Because by the time they get there, that should be the last thing that you need to squirt, and then you can welcome them to the table and have them sit down and start filling out their profile card. Okay, so anyway, so now they get to the table, and under the table, of course, or excuse me, at the table, they have their mirrors, but I wanted to share with you what I have. I've printed out this, this placemat, and you can get this on In Touch, but what it does is it shows all of our different foundations. And I just love this tool because I know that you're not supposed to have lookbooks out. So ladies, if you ever think of having like the catalog out during the party, think again. I'll explain why later. But this provides an opportunity for them to see what options we have. So when we do the cleansing and everything, then when it gets to be foundation time, I tell them to pull this out from underneath their tray and flip it over so I can show them all the different foundation options, and then show them what we're using today. Okay, so that's a tool that I have. All right, so I'm going to get out of the sun here, but I want to share with you top 10 tips to have a successful party. And the flip book is one of them. So this is so awkward, but I was tired of being in front of my computer doing the first 2 videos. So here we go. Okay. All right, you ready? Top 10 tips on how to have a successful party. Grab a paper. Okay, the first tip is actually use the flip chart. And when I came into Mary Kay, they offered a flip chart right in the starter kit, okay? And this is a mess. It's got my fingerprints, my notes, and everything else in it. But honestly, it keeps me on track. Now, if you're coming into the business now, they don't offer the flip chart anymore because of the electronic age. They offer you an electronic one, okay? The electronic one is great. But this just has more detail. So no matter if you are tech savvy or not, I recommend that you go to my website and go to the Perfect Class and print out the revised flip chart, okay? Because the revised flip chart will teach you how to do a class. Put it in a 3-ring binder, tape it to, I don't care what you do, but print it out, learn it, practice it, and then make it yours. Okay. I mean, I don't expect you to read like a robot, but when you have an appointment, you need to look professional, have something to say. And the way that this is set up, it is set up with tips and different things that you can say when, you know, and I have made it my own and put all my own stuff in it. But I mean, it makes sense. So anyway, so my first recommendation to you is print out some kind of a flip chart and learn it. Now the flip chart is set up for time-wise. So if you're doing a botanical party, you would just you would insert the botanical information or the time-wise repair information where the miracle set stuff is, and that's not hard to do. If you don't have experience with the products, that's what Product Central is for on In Touch. Okay, so anyway, so perfect class tip number 2 is an opening and a closing I story. Okay, now you may have heard me do my I story, but that's the story that I tell of how I came into Mary Kay and why I came in. So this is what you need to tell people. You need to say what I thought of Mary Kay before I got there, what I think of it now, and why I stay. Because chances are, if you thought it was like for old ladies or expensive, there's somebody sitting around the table who feels the exact same way. So if you say that in the beginning, the guard is being torn down. Okay? So also the people want to know, like, why should I buy from you? Why should I sit here and listen to you? And what makes you different from, you know, the lady at work who sells stuff through the catalog. Okay? So you need to be believable. And I learned this a long time ago. People don't buy your product, people buy you. So you need to be believable and confident and genuine when you're sharing. Okay, so tell a little bit about yourself. Pictures are worth 1,000 words. You know women. They want to see your family. They want to see your dream home. They want to see your goals. So if you've seen me do my I story, that's where I use my blessings box or my blessings bag and I show some different things. Sometimes I use a photo album with before and after pictures in it. But find something that will help you tell your story because women love visual aids. Okay? All right, so step 2 was the opening and closing. You tell them that in the beginning and you remind them of that at the end when you're doing the fast fun facts. So again, they see why you're there. Okay, step 3 is sell sets. Okay, and the first time I saw that, I was very, very nervous because I didn't want anybody to feel pressured to have to buy a set. Okay, and then I understood and found out that just like anything else, Mary Kay is a recipe. So if you're using the cleanser and then you're not using the moisturizer, we cannot guarantee the results are going to be the way that we say they're going to be. So we sell sets. If somebody says to you, I am not interested in a set, I only want one piece, okay, you can say that is fine, but our 100% guarantee does not apply. Are you okay with that? And if they say yes, then that's what you sell them. If they say no, then you sell them the set. And back in the day when Mary Kay started with skincare sets, a set truly was a cleanser and a moisturizer. So I kind of still stick with that. That's called the basic, and that could go with anything, Velocity, Botanical, you know, anything. But then really right now, like a miracle is your basic set. And you don't want somebody to just have the day or just have the night, unless somebody tells you they have an allergy to sunscreen. I try to sell them as a set too. But Mary Kay believes in the recipe and she asks us to not break sets. Okay? All right, plus it's just good business because when you have a customer who loves and uses both, then they're going to need to reorder, you know, both. Okay, number 4 is book 2. Mary Kay used to pack a pair of slippers in her bag and tell people at parties that she would just put her slippers on and she was not leaving until she had 2 appointments from this appointment. Now, there are a lot of different booking strategies out there, but what I love, love, love is the profile card questions. And I'm going to teach those to you in step 8. But you do not want to leave without 2 appointments on your books, because if you leave without appointments, it's like leaving money on the table. Okay? So make that a priority. The next step for a successful party is have hostess packets ready. Okay, I have them in my pink accordion file and they're ready to go, so I look like a professional when they say, okay, I'll book a party. Then you pull out your folder, you put the date and the time in, and you just look extremely professional. It has all your contact information so they can get you their guest list. And they're not difficult to make. I can teach it to you. If you do that first checklist in your new consultant training, the first steps you actually earn 10 of them. So what a great bonus to earn. Okay, number 6 is some kind of referral game. There are a lot out there. The one in the flip chart is called Tic-Tac-Toe. I've heard of one called Deserted Island. You could use a texting idea, but you want to come up with some type of referral game, because that way you can get more names out of the time that you're there. You want the most bang for your buck. If you're going to leave your family, pack your bags, and go do something, you want to kill it. Okay, I know that sounds silly, but you want to get all that you can. Not only sales. Sales are awesome, but you want sales, you want bookings, you want interviews, you want referrals. That's your goal, to come home with more business from that appointment. Okay. Number 7 is the 5-minute marketing, or the fast fun facts. Don't be afraid to share that. In the beginning, I didn't know exactly when to share that, and I have realized that if you wait till the very, very end, after the people have their product, they have lost interest. So what I do is, at the end, when I'm closing, I do the profile card questions, and I just say, ladies, I've got one more thing to share with you. Part of my job is to share the product, which I just did, and the other part is to share a little bit about the opportunity. And this has been such a blessing in my life. It's my honor to share, and it only takes about 5 minutes. Plus, you get to go into a drawing for $100 just for listening. So usually everybody's okay with that. So then I go through and I explain the fast fun facts, and I go through everything, and don't be apologetic about it. I've been to many parties, and I mean, the Pampered Chef lady wasn't upset or wasn't apologetic when she had to tell me her business stuff. We love this. So make sure that people see how awesome it is. Okay, number 8 is the individual close. Okay, so now what happens is, you're at the dining room table. You need to find a place that you can pull people to have private consultations, and clear that with your hostess before you even get there. Okay, whether it's the sofa or the family room or whatever, but find a place where you can be private. Reason is, women do not like to talk about their money and their skin in front of other people. Okay, so have a place where you can go on the side. And you're going to have your individual close. Now, the individual close there are 3 questions. And the first question is, did you have a good time tonight? Okay. Or did you have a good time today? And the second is, how's your skin feel? And the third is, which sets can I start you off with? And ladies, the third question is the tough one, but get it out. That's your job. Okay. And if they don't want to buy sets, they're going to tell you. So just ask, which sets can I get you tonight? And then, ready? Close your mouth and smile. And wait, because the next person to talk is the one who's going to take the product home, and you don't want that to be you. That happened to me the other day, and it felt like forever. But guess what? She only bought a foundation, but she really wants the repair set. So she's like, all right, I can't afford it. My husband will kill me. But what if I book a party? She just needed that think time. And if I started blabbing because it was uncomfortable, she wouldn't have processed all that. She probably would have just taken her foundation and left. So not only did I make, a sale of a foundation, but I got a booking, and she ended up inviting like 50 people, because she knows, she's like, I want this repair set and I don't want to pay for it. So I think I'm going to have an awesome hostess on my hands. And that's because I was quiet. Okay. A lot of times other things will happen. She's trying to think, what will my husband kill me with if I come home with, if I put this on this credit card and pay this in cash and do this on this credit card? Give her time to process. She needs to think it through. Okay. She probably wants it all, but can't afford it. I mean, I'm sure we've all been in that situation. So just get quiet. Okay. All right. Now, before you did that individual close, your table close, back at the table, the way that you want to close out is in your flip book. But the questions that I use, I've edited them a little bit. I think there's 4 in the flip book. I've shortened it to 3. And the first one is, what's your favorite product? And the second is, if all these sets were free, what would you take home? And the third is, at your checkup appointment, would you like to share that with friends or just do that by yourself? And you should have said the words checkup appointment in your party 5 to 7 times. You want them to know that you're going to be thinking that you're going to be asking them, what time, when do you want to do your checkup appointment? Like, it's an expectation. In order for me to guarantee that these products are going to work, I want to make sure that they are going to work. So I want to check in with you. So let them know that a checkup is part of your service, and don't feel bad about it. If my hairstylist would call me and say, Brenda, how's your, how are your highlights? How's this? How's that? I would be thrilled. Okay. But no, I just drop her a check and go home to this mess. Okay. Because I don't know what I'm doing. So anyway, that is part of our service, and that's what makes Mary Kay different than anybody else. It's our service, and it's our relationships with people. Our product is amazing, yes, but there are a lot of awesome products out there. What makes us different and us better is us. Okay? Clinique, Revlon, CoverGirl, they have Drew Barrymore and Holly Berry and, Julia Roberts, their spokesmodels, but are they calling to check on the product? No, that's us. Okay? That's what calls us apart. Okay, number 9, I think. Ask everyone this question. One last thing. Okay, now start off with that phrase. One last thing. Part of my training is to listen to my director share the company facts with 10 women. Could I borrow you for this? Okay, and what's nice is if you just saw what her wish list was on the back of the profile card, maybe she wrote, that she wanted this, and this, but she only bought like 2 things. You could be like, you know what? I would love to get you that mascara at half price just for helping me out. Okay, and you decide what you want to give. I mean, half price isn't going to hurt you, but you decide if it's worth it to even offer a free product to have them listen. Okay, and the idea behind this is ask everyone, but I'll be honest with you, I don't ask everybody, only because, which is terrible, I probably should ask everybody. If I don't like them and they don't like the product, why am I going to ask them to work with me? But there are people who can be deceiving too. So just use your best judgment, and if you like them, they like the product, ask them. Just say, hey, would you listen? If they say no, fine, who cares? Move on. Okay? So anyway, that's one last thing. And the last tip is contact me after every appointment. I don't care. Just text me, Facebook me, email me. You can call, but whatever. Just let me know how it went. And what I want to know is I want to know your sales, and I want to know how many bookings you got, and I want to know, what the successes were. And yeah, if there were questions or things that didn't go well, I want to know about them too, so I can help you. So anyway, so please stay in contact with me. Then go home and fill out your Power Player tracker so I know how many faces and you know how many faces you're seeing and what you're selling to them, and then get that to me. But anyway, so those are the top 10 tips to an awesome party. You can do them on a more casual level and a facial, but I hope that was helpful. There's tons more that you can do at a class, but I'm at 22 minutes here in my video and I want to stop it there. So email me if you have questions or thoughts. I am excited. You are welcome to come watch me sometime. And also at the Tuesday Night Success events, I teach probably at least one of them a month. So that's why we like to have lots of guests there. So you guys can watch me right there, teach your guests and sell for you. Okay, so always have guests with you at events, and if I'm not teaching, somebody else from our unit will, and you can always learn from them. And then sooner or later, I'm gonna ask if you'll teach too. So I guess that's it for right now. Send me an email, let me know that you watched this, and let me know what your questions were and what you learned. All right, thanks. Have an awesome day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.